To you on a Tuesday evening. Yeah, I'm doing better this evening. I've actually turned everything on so you can see me. Points for me. Too tired to think about what to eat. That's the subject. And it feels quite apt because I was just saying to my husband, like, oh, I feel so tired right now. I've got such an energy low this afternoon. And I think it was a mixture between having classes, straight into client sessions. And I was like, I just need to go and chill and kind of lift myself back up. So yeah, just feeling tired. It's been a bit of a manic week. And you might be thinking it's only Tuesday, like manic week. But for me, there's not really like a Saturday, Sunday. For me, a week is every day is a new week, right? So every day you start a new 7 days. Today's the last of a 7 days. So I always look back to the last 7 days and forward to the next, regardless of the Sunday, Monday piece. That's just the way I like to operate. Someone could probably steal that, right? And write a book about it every day. I don't know what we call that book. Let me know your thoughts. Give me your ideas for the title of a book and I'll write one. But yeah, I want to cover off too tired to think what to eat. This is where we're stressed, we're feeling a bit tired, and maybe coming out the weekend. It might be just life being busy and juggling lots of things. I've got lots of clients who are what we call a sandwich culture. So they've got young kids and they're also looking after their parents. Equally, I've got clients who don't have kids at all, but they're looking after siblings or they're looking after elderly parents. So there's a lot of pressure around doing what you want to do for your life, but also looking out and kind of being a carer ultimately, whether it's getting extra help for those people who need it or actually sorting things for people who are already in full-time care. There's a lot of going back and forth. There's a lot of pressure on us, especially as women. As women, we have these pressures around caring for our elderly parents as they age, and also looking after our siblings and also looking after, our own family too. So there's a lot of pressure on. So at times we can get really run down. And when we get to that point where it's like someone says, well, what do you want for dinner? You could just be like, oh my God, actually, I can't even think about it. And you might just rustle around in the fridge, chuck something together. You don't really enjoy it. It's not really filling you. So then you're just looking for something else to eat. You can also get to that point of just going, we just get a takeaway. For Eats, whatever you want, just order a takeaway. So easy on the app. So I'm going to give a tool to you about what to do when you're too tired to think about what to eat. This is really a tool that will set you up. So try and use this tool when you've maybe got a bit of time off work, a bit of time where you're not running about. So you've got a little bit of breathing space to think about it because it's that thing of short-term pain for long-term gain. So by doing this, you're going to set yourself up for the week ahead, the month ahead, depending on when you use it. And you're going to go, what? You tricked me into this. So what am I talking about? Batch cooking. I know. But I done a post today about a sweet potato chicken recipe, and I made it myself. I made it at, don't know what time, 10 o'clock this morning. So it was ready for me coming back late for lunch, and I've also had it for dinner. Because as I mentioned to you, I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired. At like 5 o'clock, I was like, oh, I'm really tired right now. And the last thing I wanted to do was think about what to cook or even cook. And it was there ready just to reheat. So that is the power of batch cooking. Now, I know some people are resistant. There's this resistance to batch cooking. And sometimes we can be resistant to change. We can be resistant for a number of reasons because if we do batch cooking and we're prepared, we might tell ourselves, oh, we don't fancy that meal. We like more variety. We want to be a bit more spontaneous. But you could actually be self-sabotaging yourself because if you've got something there in the fridge or freezer to have, but actually you're kind of like, oh, I just want the takeaway. Then it's admitting that, right? Admitting that your choice is to go for the convenience food, to go for the takeaway, the foods that aren't so great for you. They're low quality, but they're going to be a longer cost in terms of what comes in the future. So we can go for that quick fix, low quality, low cost, quick fix, but actually longer term, the cost is going to be high of those products. And sometimes it's easy to blame time and not having time and energy for our convenience choices. But you can make batch cooking convenient too. So in order to make batch cooking convenient, go to my feed, take the recipe I posted today and make that recipe. Now it serves 6 people, 4 to 6 people, depending if you've got kids. Me and my husband, well, we've made us last for 4 portions, 2 at lunch and 2 at dinner. So if there's the 2 of you, it's going to serve 4. If you've got kids, you might want to chop up on the chicken breast and maybe they might have half. But ultimately, take that recipe as your first batch cook, and it will serve you for 2 meals. Or, like I say, if you've got a bigger family, it might be one. But the point is, it's a recipe that's easy to do. You just literally chuck the chicken together, the onion, sweet potato, the oil, the chili, the harissa, all that stuff, and chuck it in the oven and leave it for 45 minutes so you can go and get other stuff done. So there is no excuse. You can get it done. Batch cooking is for everybody. And you might see sometimes social media posts, people, all these little Tupperwares, and they've got it all laid out and they've done all this batch cooking. That's not for everyone. That's not how I batch cook. The thought of having the same food for the whole month is not for me. I don't want to have chicken, broccoli, and I don't know, rice for like the whole month. So yeah, it's that whole thing about going actually what works for you. So I've given you a recipe. It's there in my feed. If you can't find it, it is in the feed on both Facebook, it's on LinkedIn, it's on Instagram. No excuses. It's easy enough to see, but if you are struggling to find it, then just DM me recipe and I'll send it to you, or I'll send you a link to it. So besides the whole piece around convenience of batch cooking and having it there, being prepared, it just takes the stress out of having to make another decision, right? Life is full of decisions and decision points, especially when you're female in the house. And sometimes it's nice not to have to make a decision and just go, right, that's what we're having. It can also save you money, because how often do you go in your fridge and end up chucking out food because you've not done anything with it? And it's maybe past its date if it's like fresh meat or fish, or maybe the veg has gone moldy. So long term, it's going to save you money too. So there's a convenience of it, there's cost savings, there's also time efficiency. So if you're like debating what to have for dinner, how much time do you waste going back and forth with your partner, your husband, going, what should we have? What should I have? Don't know. Should we just get a takeaway? And then you end up like choosing which takeaway, what will we have? Save you so much time. That's what you're having. There it is, good to go. And if you're really hungry, you'll eat it. If you're like, oh, but if I don't fancy it, well, then you're not that hungry. So it's that whole thing about, well, are you really hungry if you're not fancying it? If food's there and you're hungry, you'll eat it. Okay, and then think about where you are on your diet nutrition journey. What is it you're trying to achieve? Are you trying to eat healthier? Are you trying to lose weight? Maybe you're just trying to maintain weight but get more veg in. Whatever it is, then batching meals is going to help you with that, because you take the time out to have a little think about what it is you want to eat for the week, what it is you want to consume in terms of your veg, your meats, or if you're meat free, and come up with the recipes and look at how you can plan and batch them. So it allows you to also look at different diet and nutrition that you might have. So if you're somebody who's celiac, or you've got a particular food that doesn't agree with you, onions is quite big on people, tomatoes, then it takes away the pain of having to think about what it is that works for you and your body, because you've already planned it, it's there, it's good to go, so you're never without a meal. And then if you think about the healthier eating piece, is portion size too. So if you do a batch cook and then break it down into portions, then that is a portion you have. Put it in a freezer bag, chuck it in the fridge, chuck it in the fridge, chuck it in the freezer. Either way, it's portioned. So as you batch cook, you're portioning your food. So you don't need to worry about measuring it as you go, because you do that when you batch cook. And you can make like so much variety with it. Like I said, there's one recipe I put in my feed today, but you can have lots of variety. People are like, oh, I don't like it because I'm going to have to eat the same thing. No, you're not unless you make the same thing. If you took that recipe I put on today and you made that, I don't know, let's say you're just eating it and it serves 4, then yeah, if you made like 4 portions of that and that's all you made, yeah, you probably get bored eating the same thing. But the beauty of batch cooking is you get to decide. You get to decide what your dishes are and what batching is. And it's so freezer friendly that you can just pull it out the night before or the morning. So then you've got it for the evening. So it's that thing about it's there to support you during the busy times, during the stressful times, and also times where maybe you just don't want to cook because you just can't be bothered. Not everybody's a fan of cooking. So just think about it. Meal planning, organization, encourage you to plan your meals ahead. You're going to be better nutrition-wise. It's portion control, save you during the stress. It's convenient. You can get lots of variety in there, and it helps with cost saving and your time too. So many benefits to it, but yet people shy away from it. And like I say, it's not the image of maybe your bikini models where you see like the pictures of the same thing every day in plastic little tubs. You don't need to be doing that. You can take normal standard recipes, spaghetti bolognese, for example, batch cook a bolognese, The chicken recipe I've already mentioned. There's so many things you can batch cook and it's super easy. The only thing stopping you is you. And you've got to look deep. So if you want to live meal by meal, day by day, and you want fresh food, some people do use this as a bit of excuse. Oh, I like eating fresh food. I enjoy it more. Do you? Or is it just actually if you have it fresh, then you've got a reason to maybe not eat as healthy as you did, and then you can't look a bit deeper, right? So if I'm like, oh, I've got nothing in, but oh, what am I going to have? I'm going to end up having fish fingers and chips because that's all I've got in. And then you're going to blame time and lack of time to prepare for it. Then actually, that's your choice because you're choosing not to batch cook. So let's not hide behind the excuses that we like to eat fresh as a reason to not prepare and batch cook, because we can all do it and we can all make it work for us, and we can make it work for all budgets, all tastes, all varieties. And often food tastes better the next day, especially if it's a curry or bolognese. The next day it often tastes better. So stop making excuses. I know what it's like when you're like, I'm too tired, I can't think what to eat, I can't make another decision. Then that's when batch cooking is your friend. And like myself tonight, super grateful that the food was there ready to go. So set yourself up for success, not just in terms of weight loss, but in terms of your nutrition, eating well to help you recover, give you energy for the next day. So like I say, team, Coach Julie, any questions on that, give me a shout. My DMs are always open, anything nutrition, training wise, life coaching wise. And if you can't find a chicken recipe, drop me a DM recipe and I'll pop it to you. Go, enjoy your meals, get batch cooking. Don't overwhelm yourself. Try not to do a full week. Start off with just at least one day, one recipe, and build on from there. Have a great evening.